for the last 2 months or so, FORUS has been working in collaboration with some of the biggest central banks around the world on a project to put together the framework for central bank issued digital currency. And what became very clear from the outset was that the central banks have been spurred into action because of the Libra project that Facebook's involved in. Everybody saw that potentially if the banks don't get into the digital currency business, private companies like Facebook are going to issue their own currencies, and what that does is it jeopardizes sovereign currencies, and it potentially could create huge instability in financial markets that have evolved over almost thousands of years to work in a certain way. You can't just ride roughshod over that, because unfortunately the reality of the world is that you have two components to payments and business. You have those people who legitimately doing business with each other, and then you have a massive network of criminals, money launderers, and other nefarious bad actors in the ecosystem. And they all have technology people. They're all not all tech savvy, but a lot of them are. There's some very sophisticated syndicates, criminal operations designed and just set up to commit online fraud. And that is a massive stumbling block that we need to overcome if we're going to have ubiquitous digital trading. It's one of the big challenges with Bitcoin. Most of the Bitcoin traded is being traded for things like, getting around foreign exchange controls, for gambling, for non-traditional requirements, if I can put it that way. But what we need to utilize the technology of things like Bitcoin and blockchain, but we need to eliminate the crime and the fraud. So you need to have the central banks involved in the process. You need to have the commercial banks involved in the process. You need to bring in the current anti-money laundering, know your customer, and various other financial controls, because otherwise the criminals will take over in a heartbeat. So I think what's happened now with this central bank initiative is they're saying it's time for a public-private partnership where all the good actors, all the people who need the systems to work to do what it is they do, whether it's governments or businesses, large and small, we need to work together to get the benefits of digital, but to make sure that we don't allow the criminals to take advantage of the situation and mess it up for everybody. So it's very important that all of these things are taken into account, that we've been working for years with the monetary authorities, the regulators. It's important that FORUS is the best payment network, has the cleanest payments. And the other thing is that FORUS is a debit network. Okay, no chargebacks. When somebody gets paid, they stay paid. And the only way you can do that is if you're absolutely ruthless in terms of security, regulatory compliance, and making sure that nobody utilizes the platform for things that they shouldn't. And when that happens, and it obviously does, and it will, that they can be removed from the system as quickly as possible. And that's one of the advantages of FORUS and the way that the system's been designed. We can revoke anybody's ability to transact the minute that we detect anything unlawful, and we can stamp it out quickly. And the other thing is that if somebody does commit or use the platform to commit these kinds of acts, we'll be able to pick it up and they'll be in trouble. So this is really going to help to make business fast and clean. a very, very important part of any new payment system.